Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Tuesday Night Flight. This is the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network production. I am the Midnight Rider. He is the Gentleman Jack. This is the Tuesday Night Flight. We're going to take you on a little journey around the sports world like we always do on Tuesdays. This week, we're going to start off with Must Be the Money. The UFC gets paid. We get some interesting information on a case with John Gruden, who's suing the NFL. We've got a power ranking for you for MLB. We've got an Oklahoma quarterback that is accused of gambling. We have a look into the top 25 or the top 10 in college football. And we're going to give you a little spin on who we think, or actually Jack is going to give you that spin, because this is Jack area expertise. And then we're going to go from there. And with that being said, we want to welcome you to the land of the Sideline Junkies, where we like to have great conversations about sports, and that's how we choose to entertain you. And with all that being said, Gentleman Jack, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. You like that? You like that? My Kirk Cousins bank. You like that?
What's going on, man?
Well, Midnight Rider, and how are you today, my man?
I am doing swimmingly well, sir. Swimmingly well. And with that being said, let's jump into the leadoff topic. Tonight, we're going to lead off with some money being exchanged. The UFC, Paramount, and the TKO Group have reached a 7-year deal that's worth $7.7 billion. So that's roughly $1.1 billion per year. What they've decided to do is under the deal, Paramount will exclusively distribute the UFC's full slate of its 13 marquee numbered events and 30 fight nights on the streaming platform, with a select number of events also set to simulcast on CBS starting in 2026. This deal, according to Dana White, that we're reading to you off of ESPN.com, written by the Associated Press, this deal puts the UFC amongst the biggest sports in the world. The exposure provided by Paramount and CBS under this new structure, is a huge win for our athlete and anybody who watches and loves this sport. Jack, this whole conversation ties right back into what we were talking about the other night. I think it was Thursday night, when KG was crying about paying for all the sports networks and paying for subscriptions. I don't know if that was Thursday or Sunday, but this ties into this because these companies know now that everybody that's cut the cord aren't going to be able to watch the shows on ESPN. So what's the point of being on ESPN? So this whole move is a great power move, because now they move to a structure where everybody carries CBS. So that gives them nationwide exposure outside of what the cable brand gives them. And then by having Paramount, you got people that watch, Yellowstone, and all those other things. They're subscribing to that. So that's money coming in. So this 1.1 billion per year is huge for the UFC. This is a marquee moment for something that 20 years ago started as like a cage fighting thing, and they didn't have weight classes. For them to be here now, actually I'm gonna say 30 years ago, for them to be here now is a great testament to the things that Dana White has done and the way he's put this company in position to do some great things. Just talking to it about from a money standpoint, what do you like about this, Jack?
I mean, talking about cutting the cord and streaming now, everybody's streaming, but if everybody wants to get down with this dude I know, then all those folks will go broke. So just saying, there's ways around it. But that's alleged. That's alleged too.
I was about to say allegedly, yeah.
I just don't know, man. more and more people are cutting the cord, but more and more people are going underground too. So
True that.
I
True
got
that.
when Dana White started this stuff, like you say, damn near looked like backyard brawls. I thought he was batshit crazy. But he's a
Right.
genius, man. He's a $1 billion genius.
Yep.
So you know, they're gonna get they're gonna get their money. They're not gonna be out there floating on networks where they're not getting paid. So
Right.
hey, very smart move by him, and I think an early move for all sports activities of this type that charge. So pay-per-view thing's gonna be crazy, different, and even you said something about Paramount.
Well,
You
no,
know,
that's the thing. The pay-per-view thing is going to be non-existent. This deal
right,
replaces the pay-per-view.
right. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Sorry, I meant to say my words got twisted, but
No, you
yeah,
good.
and going with these single spots like they're going now. Uh, let's just stay away from who was it that put out that piss poor showing of that? I think it was the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. Was that Amazon?
Yeah, I think so. One of them.
That was terrible. I thought Paramount's done fine. They've had a couple football games on and stuff. I think it's like that. College football is going to start being like that too, where you're going to have to pay to watch your squad. They're going to cash in. The sports people's going to cash in wherever they can, man. Believe me, it's a greedy world, and cash is king.
Well, it's the two best things that has happened to the sports landscape in terms of being able to purchase or being bought. And that was one, the failure of all the regionalized sports products. So your region companies like well SNY in New York isn't failing, but places like here where you used to have where you still have Masson, that's a low level product. On the West Coast, there's a string of companies that were on like a Pacific network that were together, and all that fell apart. And now MLB is running their streaming services and running their content. That's the difference
Mm-hmm.
right there. And then the second part of this is um, this group, the TKO group, has landed two humongous deals in the last 2 weeks. Just last week, we were talking about how the WWE is going to be on the ESPN platform. So basically, they just replaced UFC with WWE and its content. So this is interesting. This is very interesting. You see how this plays out over the course of the next 7 to 8 years, and who's next, and what companies are next, and who are they getting in bed with to be the company that carries their product. Let's see what we got here. I see the Sideline Junkies, aka KG, is in
Thought he was sleeping.
the comments. He said, "Yo," and then he said, "I don't be crying about anything, KG." When I'm talking about, you were very openly frustrated because the landscape of how we view television is changing ever so fast, and you're not going to be able to get your channels that when you was young and you had the pliers and you was turning the TV to 5
aluminum
and
foil.
9, yeah, and 4. You can't do that no more. Those days are done. So that for you should take you out of wanting to get that floor model TV in the house that Lovey won't let you get. See, she looking out for you because you can't get those channels on that TV no more. I don't even know how you would even put that on one of those type of TVs, because I don't think they sell them little joints with the little hooks on them, the little cable with the little hooks, and the splitter. And you unscrew the thing and put the splitter up and screw it back on. You gotta be of a certain age to know about that.
Sounds like you know how to do that.
Oh man, Doug, my parents be like, "Yo, it's gonna mess up the TV." I'm like, "Dude, it's a video game, and it hooks into the thing. It can't mess the TV up."
Shorty, I like I said, I made my parents' basement into my basement apartment when I got 17, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a TV by my bed. I had a TV in the sitting area, and I was splicing and putting adapters and unions on these cable wires, running them all through the drop ceiling. Man, I had holes in the drop ceiling running down the wall. I used to always do that to my cable TV and stuff back then. But then we had those bootleg boxes,
Yep. Yep.
that was getting all the free stuff. But
Allegedly.
yeah. Nah, that ain't even alleged. That's true. That was back in the 90s. That's true. Now, if we talk about today, right now, it's always alleged.
Allegedly. No. So basically, the statutes of limitation ran out. So that's why you feel comfortable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But oh, and let's get KG, stop it. They're pricing this out, and I'm getting my floor model TV soon. Okay. Yeah, okay. I don't even say no more. I'm just gonna say yeah, okay. Because I know Miss Sparkle Profit ain't going for that. So next up on the ledger, real quick. Some news that we thought had gone away kind of fell into the cracks. John Gruden wins his case against the NFL. So what's been going on in the background is the NFL has really tried to suffocate this case because of the emails that are involved in this case and the language in the emails. And of course, I guess, what was that, 5-6 years ago? Gruden got fired right after he signed his 10-year deal with the Raiders for $100 million. And Gruden's theory is that the NFL is behind him getting fired and him leaking the emails being leaked. I think Gruden's wrong. I think the person that he should be going after is Daniel Snyder, because I think Daniel Snyder took a shot at trying to get rid of Bruce Allen. I think that's what happened, and I think Gruden was just somebody that caught shrapnel from this situation. But to get you to the details of the case, basically the NFL was able to get this case put in front of a 7-person panel in Nevada, the Nevada Supreme Court. And the Nevada Supreme Court found that since Gruden's a former employee, he doesn't fall under the arbitration rules set by the NFL. So they've basically exonerated him in this case, and Gruden's looking to get, a college job or NFL job. More than likely a college job, if anything else. If anything, in the aftermath, NFL. Go ahead.
Is this here from back when he had the racial stuff in his emails?
Yes, this is that case.
Okay. Yeah, I was unaware it's still going on. Okay.
Yeah, so now they finally got a ruling from Nevada in his favor. Of course, the NFL says they're going to fight this to the Supreme Court. So there's going to be another situation, and the problem that the NFL is having is these emails are going to soon could potentially be made public, and that's what they're trying. That's the NFL's fight, is trying to keep this under wraps as much as possible. And I don't know if they can win that part of the case,
right,
or keep them under wraps.
I don't think you can win the case by keeping it under wraps.
But that's the only way that becomes a huge PR nightmare when you start seeing emails from all these owners and people, and them saying racial things or having their comments, because a lot of these comments come around the Colin Kaepernick thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, I don't say the racial shit ain't wrong, but if they don't want to open up this can of worms, then they shouldn't pursue trying to win this again in an appeal or whatever.
Well, I think the second part of this is that some of this will start coming out. So I think the NFL is fighting to try to keep everything under wraps. And I think that's where the conflict is. But what I'm gonna do is, I saw this article, but I want to read a couple more articles. Because this kind of caught my eye. And I want to see, what the next moves are for each side. But I wanted to just get this out here because this is just the beginning. Because there's going to be probably a battle that goes on for a few more months in this process. And then KG with the laughing emoji after we said that Miss Sparkle Profit ain't going for that. And with that being said, well, not even saying that, but I think, like I said, I think this case is going to be a thing that's going to be interesting because NFL's got to try to hide some of the stuff that's going on behind the scenes, and because Daniel Snyder and other people are being petty, I think they're going to put themselves in trouble. And with that, them being in trouble with these cases or this case, and then don't forget, we still got the what's the Minnesota Vikings Brian Flores. You still got the Brian Flores case that's sitting out there. So there could be some things coming out and some language and other things that could be possibly damaging to the league. And I think that's part of the reason why they re-upped your boy Goodell for the amount of money they re-upped him for.
My boy.
Well, I'm just saying in general. But with that being said, we are going to take a quick break. And then when we come back after this quick break, we're going to get into the coaches preseason poll. And we're going to try to attack this a little bit differently. I know earlier today, if you saw the drive time, they kind of compared the AP and the coaches poll together. But we're going to do it because we got Jack Carr. We're going to let Jack Carr get funky like a monkey with this this coaches preseason poll. And he's going to say what they have, and he's going to say how he would put it. Because we can only do it Jack's way. And with that being said, we're going to take a quick break, about 15 seconds, and we'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. This is another edition of the Tuesday Night Flight. He is the Gentleman Jack. I am the Midnight Rider. And we are here giving you our thoughts on some things. And right now, we got the college. We're going to do a top 10. The coaches preseason poll. We're going to give you what the coaches have. And then we're going to give you our thoughts on where we think some teams may fall. And Jack, if you agree with him, just say you agree, and we can go from there. But I'll give my thoughts because I think I just looked at it real quick, and I saw two teams that I don't think should be where they are. So why don't you first run us down what the coaches have, and then kind of give us your thoughts.
Okay. I did find another poll. It's Yahoo poll.
And
so we're gonna go what we got. We're gonna go what we got here because I do remember seeing on ESPN they had Clemson ranked at 4, and on AP Clemson's ranked at 6. But we're just gonna go with this AP poll right now.
Okay.
And the Texas Longhorns are atop that list right now. Yeah, that Texas defense is incredible. They got a lot of returns come back. Not the most in this top 10, but they got a lot. And they're gonna let Arch Manning loose in Texas. So, but I don't agree with Texas being at the number 1 spot. I'm gonna go to the number 2 spot. We got Ohio State. Ohio State, they lost a lot, and they're one of 8 teams in the top 25 that got a starting quarterback with little or no college experience. So until I see otherwise, if they got a quarterback that's proven that he can play at this level, because, Big Ten and SEC, that's not no chump level football. So until I see that, I don't agree with Ohio State at 2. You got Penn State at 3. Now, I'm just going to say I don't agree with this top 10, so I ain't going to say I don't agree no more. I'll come back later with possibly where I think we should shuck and jive and move some of these teams to. But number 4 is the Georgia Bulldogs. I do expect some good. I'm sorry, let me get back. Number 3 is Penn State. Penn State is number 3. I think Drew Aller's going to show out. He's going to be a Heisman favorite. I look for things, and I think they got their running backs still. That one boy's names. That one boy. Well, they got the second highest return rate of players is Penn State. I'll get into that again when I reclassify my top 10. But he's got so much back that I think Penn State's like, hey, it's time to show you what we didn't do last year, and it's time for Coach James Franklin to get over that hump. And I think he's got the team to do it this year. So watch
Well,
out, big things at Penn State. You
well,
got
if he
anything
doesn't
on
do it
Penn
this
State?
year, if he doesn't do it
I
this
know, right?
year, yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely got the axe following him on the sidelines because he just ain't been able to win that big game, man. So at the number 4 spot, the Georgia Bulldogs got Gunnar Stockton coming in to QB this year. He's solid. He's solid, but little or no NCAA playing time. So I don't know about that Georgia squad. And you got Notre Dame at number 5. I don't even think Notre Dame has listed their starting quarterback yet.
I
It's
think right
between
now the leader is
CJ
CJ Carr.
Carr,
Yep.
between Carr and Minchie. So Kenny Minchie, he's solid too. And then number 6, Clemson. I just don't see why they should be that low with the squad they got. Cade Klubnik put up great numbers last year. I expect to see his completion percentage go up because his completion percentage last year was 63-ish, 64%. I expect him to be up closer to 70% this year. His interceptions were low, 6 interceptions. They got some monster running backs coming in. A couple of redshirt freshmen will be balling for them. So I tell you, Clemson at number 6 is a laugh to me. Oregon, number 7, Dante Moore. He's going to be running the show. He's a transfer from Washington. So, yeah, Oregon's going to keep their quarterbacks, and they're going to keep that offense high flying. So they don't just change uniforms, man. They change scoreboards. So Oregon is always a team to be watching for. And Alabama, Ty Simpson and Austin Mack, they still have not made a decision. Austin Mack looked good to me. The good thing with Alabama is new coach, DeBoer.
Mm-hmm.
Coach DeBoer has got his OC in-house now. And that was a problem for Alabama last year. It was offense, in my opinion. Their defense was solid. And DeBoer's an offensive guy too, but he's got his OC guy with him. He went to the NFL for a minute, apparently didn't make it. So I look for Alabama to possibly be climbing up and getting back to where they used to roam in the top 3. Number 9, LSU. I wasn't expecting them so low, but they got one of the most ferocious schedules out there. I kind of be surprised if LSU can manage to stay in the top 20, really, with that tough schedule. I'll go over that schedule here in a minute. And number 9 spot is the U, the Miami Hurricanes, who, have been rebuilt over there and have been back up to their glory days a little bit. Carson Beck's going to be their QB1 now, the transfer from Georgia. Carson Beck 24 season wasn't that great. Carson Beck 23 was good. So which Carson Beck they going to get? Hopefully they get 23 Carson Beck. Roddy, you got anything to say about any of those squads in the top 10 there?
Well, I was going to give you a heads up. Per my sources, in the words of Chris Broussard, Alabama is named Simpson as the starter for the season, or for week 1, I should say.
Okay, good to know.
Tyler Simpson should be the starter for them. I think when you were talking about Penn State, I think the names you were looking for was Katron Allen and Nicholas Singleton.
Yes, and both of them flourished last year.
And then you were talking about Miami. I just think you got to figure out what Carson Beck is. And then the other good thing about Miami, though, Miami has, I think, the best returning defensive line in the country. So that could make them very hard to beat, especially in their conference, where they're probably the king of the hill. I mean, it's them and Clemson.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a little bit of SMU, but yeah, right. You're right.
And then the other crazy stat that I saw off of this top 25 is that 16 of the 25 teams are either from the ACC. I'm sorry, it's from the Big Ten or the SEC. I'm sorry, because I was joking because I was calling them by the networks they on. But yeah,
ACC has been slipping. I mean, with no Florida State, no Syracuse, ACC has been slipping, and teams like Clemson, Miami, and SMU have been getting knocked for it too, saying,
Right.
easy schedule. And that's what's going out right now about Clemson is their easy schedule. As of now, okay, as of now, Midnight Rider, Clemson's only got 3 ranked teams on their schedule. That can change as teams get better now, don't get me wrong. But they only have 3 ranked teams. And you got a squad like LSU, they play 6 ranked teams in their first 9 games.
Yep.
So that's why I worry about LSU and them even being in the top 20 this year, dude. Because they dropped 3 games, 3 of those 6. They're in Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
And they open August 30th against Clemson. So I think Clemson's a better team out of the 2, but you never know.
Clemson plays LSU.
Powerhouses. Yeah, game 1, I believe.
If that's the case, I'm taking
LSU. Yes.
I'm taking LSU.
August 30th.
Because that DN, what's his name, Perkins is back healthy this year. I think LSU has the better quarterback. They got Grant Nussmeier.
Nope. I'm telling you, watch what Klubnik does this year. Klubnik's gonna be my new Sanders. Watch. I didn't like Klubnik at first. I hated Klubnik as a freshman.
That's fine. I'm just saying. I think I like Nussmeier better right now.
But that's just one defensive player, bro.
No, Nussmeier's
one of the biggest offensive lines in the league.
Don't matter. He can be as big as they want. When Perkins do that, when Perkins hit them with that lean and that ghost, because Perkins got it, he wear the number 40 because his favorite DN is Von Miller.
Let's bet.
We might put a cheesesteak on it. All right.
Definitely. Right, so I'm telling you who's going to be the squads. But I like what you're saying about LSU and Miami. And is there anything else you
I think Ohio State is in Ohio State can go either way. Because they lost their D coordinator to Penn State. They lost a lot of their defense and a lot of their offensive line. I don't know what the backup situation is there, but I know they're going to have a lot of first-timers playing. And I know, financially they invested. They got one of the best safeties in the country, Caleb Downs. What's the wide receiver kid that they have? I think it's Jeremiah Smith, who's the best wide receiver in the country. So I think they're going to be there no matter what. The questions will be, A, can the QB carry them? And B, will the lack of experience hurt them?
True. Mm-hmm.
You got anything else on this, Jack?
No, I just want to do a little reclassification on this list.
All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break.
I think Penn State's the number 1 squad.
Hold on. Let's take a quick break. We're going to come back. You're going to reclassify it. I'm going to do a quick hit on the kid from Oklahoma and him being stupid. And then we'll see where we are time-wise. And then we might take a break and then finish out the show, okay? So with that being said, this break is brought to you by nobody. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Again, quick break, came back. Jack wants to reclassify or reset the college top 10, and I didn't want him to have to wait for a commercial break to do it. I wanted to get the break out the way. We come back. It's fresh. It's on his mind. He got it ready to go. Jack, let him know your top 10, the way Jack Carr sees it.
What I would do, first of all, drop Texas and Ohio State down 2 spots. Down 2 spots each, the number 3 and the number 4 spot. I'll keep Texas at number 3, put Ohio State at number 4. I move Penn State to number 1 and Clemson to number 2. And it's not, I'm not being a homer. It's not because of my ties to either school. But I think Penn State number 1, Clemson number 2, Texas number 3, Ohio State 4. I want to swap Oregon and Notre Dame. Give Oregon the 5, Notre Dame the 6.
Okay.
I'll give Alabama the 7, Miami the 8. I'm gonna bump LSU and put South Carolina at the 9
I like that.
and Michigan at the 10.
Yeah, okay.
Did you write that down?
I did not. I was scrolling
I will.
because I was trying to keep up with what's on the list. But I know 1 through 4 is Penn State, Clemson, Texas, Ohio State.
Yes. I dropped Notre Dame to 6.
Put Oregon at 5.
Put Oregon at 5. So I'm gonna keep track of this. What did I do next? Put Alabama to 7. Miami to 8. Drop Alabama.
No, you kept Alabama. You mean you dropped?
I'm sorry. Drop LSU.
Right.
And pull up South Carolina and Michigan. Got it.
South Carolina 9, Michigan 10.
Yes, sir. That's what I think.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you get later on this evening or sometime tomorrow, when you check into the Sideline Junkies 24/7 podcast Facebook page, Jack Carr will have this listed out for you so you can see where the gentleman Jack has his top 10 in college football. He was our college basketball guru, and I don't think he got much wrong when it came to college basketball. He was right on point. He did a great job with that, and we know he's going to do a great job with this. So we're going to just put it in his hands and let him ride with it.
You mentioned a linebacker, a defensive lineman, a defensive player to keep an eye on. You need to keep an eye on Sammy Brown, linebacker, Clemson. That boy's going to be all world. Just remember that name, Sammy Brown.
Well, if you want to talk about names to keep up, you got the two people at South Carolina, the quarterback. I keep calling him the wrong name. It's Lance Sellers, the QB at South Carolina. And then you just had Darian Quick, coach of Archbishop Carroll. His product, Nick Harbor, I think he plays a combination of tight end and wide receiver. 6'5", runs track speed 10-2 and 100. Kid's an animal, man. He was most of their offense last year. And if they got any kind of running game to go with that, it's going to be something special. We've kind of wrapped up this conversation on the coaches preseason poll. And what I want to talk about, and it's just something small, so we're not going to spend too much time on this. This just caught my eye because we've been talking about sports gambling. I know a lot of people think that the leagues got in bed with these sports gambling things and didn't think about the repercussions. And so the young man, Oklahoma quarterback John Mateer, was accused of having some gambling situations based on the transactions in his Venmo. The kid transferred from Washington State following his offensive coordinator to Oklahoma. So that's how he ended up at Oklahoma. The problem is Numbnuts, and that's technically his name is Numbnuts, decided to send Venmos to his friends. And you know how when you send either a Venmo or a Cash App, they actually put a tagline on it. So Dum Dum put sports gambling.
Did he really?
He put sports gambling on the line of the money transactions. So of course that got triggered, that got pulled. Now he's out here begging and pleading, saying, "Oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do that."
It's Midnight Rider. When you're doing dirt, everybody knows you always put Cookout or Grandma's birthday, something like that, in the notes, man. You know,
right.
Sports gambling.
The idiot put sports gambling, man. I was like, you can't be that dumb. But then again, we're talking about a 20, 21-year-old. I mean, we've done some dumb things in our 20s, but I don't think we ever gave ourselves up like this.
Narked on himself.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's completely crazy, man. I saw it and I couldn't let it go past. because of course a couple years ago we had the Iowa State incident where there was like 20 kids at Iowa State that were caught gambling, and I think one of the quarterbacks, I don't think he was a starter, at Iowa State pleaded to actually gambling on Iowa State. So this gambling thing is going to have legs. We might as well get ready to keep seeing accusations and situations come from this, because that's just going to be the way of the world.
True that.
Anything else on this gambling situation?
Say no to gambling.
Coming from the two of us. Coming from the two of us.
Just say no. Like my friend Nancy said.
Oh gosh. All right, peoples. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a quick reset, and then we're coming back to you straight MLB, and then we're gonna close out the show. But I want to give the MLB its own fresh start. Let's do it. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, back again. Midnight Rider, Gentleman Jack, Sideline Junkies, Tuesday Night Flight. Now, we're not giving you everything from our coaches poll, or actually, we're going to give you a view from the windshield. We got the Jack Carr top 10. That's right, from the windshield, baby. We might trademark that. I don't know. We're working on that. It's in production. We gave you a quick insight to the John Gruden case. We gave you the UFC. Right now, what we got next for you is another situation where we're going to talk about a power ranking. And I'm going to let Jack handle this because we've been talking about MLB for a couple of weeks. I think we've seen some teams go on some runs, and I think we might have been eating some crow because some teams came from far back and closed some distances that we didn't think was going to happen. But I'm going to let Jack take you guys on this path and on this journey. Jack, take the wheel. Drive the car.
Well, MLB's been crazy here lately. We're starting to get into some of the playoff push. There's no doubt in anybody's mind, if they're currently involved in watching Major League Baseball, who the hottest team in town is. And that's down there in beer country in Milwaukee. The Milwaukee Brewers are flaming hot, dude. They were 16-9 in June, 17-7 in July, and they're 6-0 in their first 6 games in August. They had big wins this weekend over the Nationals. They're not just putting up crooked numbers, they're putting up 2-figure crooked numbers.
Yeah.
So, 16-9, 17-7. A couple weeks ago, they had some blowout wins, 14-3. I mean, I don't know what's going on over there. Peralta is just throwing the ball. I just can't get over it. I never would have thought the Brewers would be this strong. If this was September, October, that'd be trouble. So I got the Milwaukee Brewers at the number 1. Midnight Rider, what do you think about that?
I actually like it because I think right now, you talk about Peralta, you talk about Woodruff, you got a dynamic 1-2, and then you got the kid Mazeroski that's throwing like 100 miles per hour. That's 1-2-3.
Priester too.
Huh?
They got that guy Quinn Priester. Priester. They picked him up as well. He's 11-2.
So I mean, you're talking about a dynamic pitching rotation, and all these guys do is hit. They don't have that, at least in my thought process. When I look at them, I don't see a team worrying about launch angles or whatever. I see a team that wants to put the baseball in play. And they're not like everybody else trying to hit home runs. They'll take the single. They'll take the double because their concern is keeping the line moving. And I think they make Greg Counsell look like a great coach or a great manager with the way they handle their situations.
Definitely. So at the number 2 spot on the MLB power rankings for the Sideline Junkies, I myself got the Philadelphia Phillies. Kyle Schwarber, he is hitting them out faster than we can count, man. Uh, it's like he's going against Shohei for an MVP, so that's hard to beat. What Shohei's doing, and man, you got Crow Armstrong having a great year. So I don't know. Kyle Schwarber is just doing dynamite things in Philly. Um, the pitching's been fine over there with Wheeler. I don't like the Phillies, but I like them as number 2 on my power rankings. Midnight Rider, anything on that?
I think the Nats get the Phillies on their next couple series, so it's gonna be interesting to see that play out. Yeah, Schwarber's been hot. Trey does Trey things, and Bryce Harper is doing Bryce Harper things. And I like the way they've managed their outfield enough where center field used to be a problem for them, but I think they've got adequate help in center field now. So they don't have to worry about it as much as they used to.
Correct. And my number 3 squad on the power ranking here, a lot of people are not going to agree with me. A lot of people are going to say I'm sweating, but I got the LA Dodgers at number 3 because they are the LA Dodgers. They still need some folks to get healthy. They still need some folks to get healthy, and some folks are not going to be healthy until possibly next season. So they've been going through pitchers like I go through draws, man. They've gone through a lot of pitchers, and they're still maintaining the top in the NL West. So I got the Dodgers there. Shohei Ohtani, he still just smashed them out of the park left and right. What do you think about me having the Dodgers at number 3, Minerana?
Can't argue too much on that. What I like is that the Dodgers are starting. It's almost like they're making trade deadline acquisitions because they're getting guys back healthy. I think I missed this at the trade deadline, but I saw that they moved Dustin May to Boston, I think it was, in the trade. I don't remember what they got back, but that move is definitely made because they're starting. I think they got Glasnow back, and I think Snell should be coming back soon. So they're gonna get pitching back. The question is, are they gonna get these people back in time to get them stretched out so they can start 7-8 games? And what's that rotation look like going into the playoffs? Go ahead, Jack.
Number 4 spot, and there's a tough decision for me here, the 4 and the 5, and who's going to be, my little almost on the list guys. But at the 4, I'm going to stick with Chicago Cubs. Cubs, they've had some bum luck. One of their trade deadline accusations, Michael Soroka, he went down in his debut. So he's on the injury list right now with shoulder discomfort, and he was, thought to be a big part of this run. So, the Cubs, they're probably going to bring Ben Brown back, somebody like that, and just go into it and do what they can. But yeah, it was tough keeping the Cubs up because they were previously higher,
right,
on my list if I had one. So Cubbies at 4. Didn't I write anything on that?
No, I like the Cubbies at 4. I like your thought process on it.
Well, I think. Go ahead.
No, I think you're right. But I think Soroka doesn't play as much a role as we think. I think he was just going to be somebody that they were going to use to get them down the stretch, so they didn't have to use maybe a younger arm or bring up somebody from like AA or AAA. And now maybe it'd be the place where we save on it. Real quick, one of our faithful watchers has jumped into the chat.
Where you been, Sam?
I don't know, man.
He late.
Maybe he got him a lady, and she don't like this. I don't know.
Same.
And then Sam R says, "So we need a team that wears the same drawers every day."
I don't know, man. They change them a lot, bro.
But no, Yeah, that's crazy. Where we at with you? Are we at 5 or 6?
We have five right now.
Yeah.
And like I said, the 4, 5, 6, 7 is a really tight bunch, but we're only doing five. And I got Toronto there because Toronto is holding that lead in the AL East. They got the Red Sox and the Yankees knocking on the back door. And Toronto's a surprise to me at first place in the East. I thought it was going to be Baltimore, Boston, or New York. I did not even have Toronto in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
So they got some pitchers getting ready to come back off injury. Perfect timing for that. Shane Bieber, he's with the squad. He'll become the 12th former Cy Young winner to pitch for the franchise. So that's pretty impressive. Um, Max Scherzer's over there. I think Toronto is going to be something to worry about come playoff time, and they could be the beast to come out of the AL.
See, I would probably put Detroit in 5. I know they've been struggling here lately, but it's
The only
just
reason.
it's just that pitching staff for me. When you can throw Scooble every in the playoffs, it's gonna be every third day or fourth day. It's just something about that works for me, and I think this is probably that low that they have to hit, and then hopefully they can revamp it up. Um, just a question in Texas. What do you did you have any? Is Texas anywhere in your list?
Nah,
Okay.
no, they're not, and they're not on. I got a list over here that I seen that was out earlier, and I'm an ESPN guy, so it was ESPN's list, and they got Texas true 13.
Okay. Okay.
So I mean, I didn't see my close ones were Detroit, as you said it. You liked it 5.
Yep.
Yeah, Detroit could have switched with Toronto in a minute, and I needed to get an American League team on the list anyway because my top four was on. No, yeah, my top four was on National League, wasn't it? Or with Milwaukee, they in the American
Yeah, they
League.
didn't actually.
Yeah, all four was National League. So I got Detroit honorable mention, and the New York Mets are really climbing. The New York Mets are climbing. They've been hot. Juan Soto's been hot. They had a little bump in the road a couple weeks ago, last week, something like that. But whew,
Yeah, I
the
think the
Mets, the
last
Mets
week
could do
hasn't been
something,
good to
man.
them. Um, teams
Right.
I'm looking at. Uh, Cleveland has started to make a nice little run. I don't know if they're top
Mm-hmm.
10 worthy, but I like the run they're on. And I gotta say the Miami Marlins, man, they just keep chugging along and winning series and beating teams they shouldn't beat. So we might start getting a whole lot of
You reaching?
messages from Anthony. You know what I'm saying? Anthony might be in
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. Nah,
because
if he was
they
in the chat, he just said something. He just said something as soon as we said MLB. What y'all think about the Marlins?
Maddie
My man
says
Anthony.
Toronto will be a tough out, and I thought so, Maddie. Yeah, the Mets have lost 7 in a row, but they're trying to hold on. They're trying to keep from going under. So it's
Yeah,
gonna be
there it
interesting to
is.
see how
Need
that
the Mets
plays
to get
out.
a bump.
Definitely interesting how that plays out in the rest of the way. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what else do I have here? Well, you kind of already hit on it, but let's talk about this. The Brewers win 25 of their last 29.
God
That
dang.
is that is crazy. That would have been one of those situations where if they were down like 10, 15 games and we had counted them out, they'd be right there as a team back in the playoff run, back in the hunt, and we'd be eating crow. Thankfully, I don't think we buried
Mm-hmm.
that team. But yeah, they're playing some outstanding ball. And like we said earlier, when you mentioned them, I think it's just the way they hit the baseball and the way they pitch the baseball, and they play solid defense up the middle. And you can't get around that. That's the keys to baseball.
What's that? Oh, Yelich. Yelich's back in the groove again. He's kind of been shoddy since his injury. Was it
It was a
2020
bat.
and the 23? Yeah,
It was like
he's been off because I used to bet him all the time for 2 hits. Man, he was money. But last year he had a tough time, and he's back, man. Yelich is
Yeah,
back. I love Christian Yelich, and he's been a big part of this for Milwaukee. The pitching has probably been the biggest part of it, though. Pitching has been phenomenal over there.
yeah, no, yeah, I'm totally with you on that. Let's see, we got one more comment. Question for Milwaukee is, can they put it together in October? I think that's the key.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I think they as long as they don't, excuse the term, but they don't shoot their load now and they still have something in the tank, because that's going to be the key. Is can they hold anything in the tank, get into those months, and with that pitching staff? Because I still think those 4 pitchers give you a chance against anybody, anywhere, anytime. And I think they could possibly, it may sound crazy, but those 4 starters could shut down LA or give LA problems or give a team that they shouldn't beat a problem.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't just, if they're the lower seed, I wouldn't just pencil in whoever they're playing into the next round.
Yeah, but a problem is them playing, and I think the National League is stronger than the American League at this time. So they still, they got to worry about a Philly, LA Dodgers, or Cubs, or the Mets. Now, if there's an American League, I think they'd have a little bit of an easier run. And they're also getting a big hitting from, how you say that guy's name? Bryce Terang?
Yeah, that's the dude that plays second base, I
How you
think.
say his name in that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm. He's hitting the ball really well. And that pitcher, like I said, Jose Quintana, 10-4, man. That's a great record nowadays. Because like I say, you're not going to see 20 game winners no more, man. They don't pitch them long enough. They don't pitch them enough.
Quintana's been around forever. I'd
20
probably
game
let us
winners are
know
like,
what his age is.
he has. Pitching,
right.
pitching smart, kind of like Scherzer does.
All right, Jack. I think we've nailed down pretty much everything we had on the docket. Let's get into the wrap that shit up, B. You got anything that we missed? Anything you want to, for lack of a better term, hit a U-turn and go back to that you think we didn't spend enough time on? Anything that you think we missed or we didn't cover? So I know you normally have your nuggets.
No, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think we need to hit a U-turn today. But I will say, tune in tomorrow night. Tune in tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Midnight Rider and I will be on in the passenger seat. And tomorrow's guest will be Mike Hickman from BHC Flag Football. Look forward to talking flag football. As a lot of you know, flag football has been blowing up recently. It's been all over ESPN and NFL Network this summer. So let's check out what Mike has to talk about with this flag football interview. And we really got a hell of a slate for you guys coming up on in the passenger seat. Next week, we will have a triple play. What we call a triple play, it's going to be a triple play. It's going to be a 3-bagger. It's going to be a 3-piece and a biscuit, whichever one you like. But we're going to have in the passenger seat Monday, 8 p.m. Tuesday, 7:15. Wednesday, 8 p.m. And it's going to be some monstrous shows, man. We got Joseph Woodring from Northwestern Baseball. And then the special Tuesday night show is going to be not Drew Robinson. It's going to be Nats Talk with Kevin Nibley. And then we got Chuck Rogers from Sidwell Friends Basketball is going to be on. So that's going to be a hell of a week of In the Passenger Seat, Midnight Rider.
Yes, sir.
Hell of a week.
Yeah, next week you can get a whole bunch of us. So whether you like it or not, it's the best thing going today, baby. I don't have anything else. So if you cool, I'm cool.
Straight.
if you haven't checked out Drive Time today, check it out. Came on at 5 p.m. Special Tuesday episode. Scooter or Scott and Matt, they hit QBs and running backs in the fantasy drafts. They kind of gave their top fives. They also gave the people that they wouldn't touch. And then they also gave their sleepers. So if you're a fantasy football player, you want some information, hit the YouTube, hit the Spotify, go back and watch the Drive Time episode from the day or listen to it and get that information. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jack.
Yeah. Would you say the Scooter and they did their top five? Oh, I bet they had Ashton Genty in their top running backs. I bet they did.
I think Genty
Maddie's a Raiders fan too.
Well, I think I don't remember if he was in the top five because I think somebody had Amari and Hampton.
Oh, nice.
I was in the car, so I was in and out of the car, so I didn't catch all of that part of the segment.
Who's Hampton running with again?
I'm sorry, I'm about to say San Diego. Los Angeles Chargers.
Ooh, that'd be nice. Yep.
Every time
I'm excited, man, for real football.
Every time I see the kid, I think of my man from the Houston Texans, man. War number 27.
Hunt?
No. Is it Arians?
Arian Foster.
Yeah, Arian Foster.
Mm-hmm.
That was my guy. But
no, I think this is going to be a year of some good rookie running backs. There's 3 or 4 of them out there. Nice.
Okay, so Matt said he didn't have him in the top 10. He's in my 6 to 10. I know Saquon was 1, Jahmyr Gibbs. They flipped B. John Robinson. One had him 3, one had him 4.
Didn't have Derrick Henry up there?
Derrick Henry was like on one of their lists, he was 5, the other ones he was 4. I can't remember the other person they had. Maybe it was Josh Jacobs. I don't think it was, though. I can't remember the 5th. Matt, if you got the person I'm missing, shoot it to us before we get out of here. But to clean up the slate for the rest of the week, again, Jack told you tomorrow in the passenger seat, 8 o'clock. Thursday night throwdown, 8 o'clock. No, we're doing earlier now, right? We're doing 7:15. We'll figure that out. We'll send a message.
7:15 on Thursday.
We'll send a message to confirm the time for that. And then Saturday, we got the WrestleMania. And then Sunday, we start the whole week all over again with the Sunday Rise. With all that being said, just kiss your loved ones. Tell people you love them. Don't feel the need to be shy. If you need to give somebody their flowers, give it to them, because you never know what the situation is that they're dealing with, or what they're going through. Because sometimes that word of encouragement is enough a person needs to get through the next day and to keep moving forward. So with that being said, this is the Tuesday Night Flight. I'm the Midnight Rider. He's the Gentleman Jack. Thank you for watching us. And real quick, he said he's blanking on the third one too. So, McCaffrey. McCaffrey was the person I missed. So there you go. And with all that being said, we are the Sideline Junkies. We look forward to you coming back tomorrow. Like I said, don't forget to click like and subscribe on whatever platform you're on, because if you're on a platform, we probably there, because we everywhere, as Jack Carr say. And with that being said, good night.